All right, y'all. I just wanted to cover real quick the World Economic Forum that just finished a few days ago, 2024. And we've discussed the World Economic Forum and the different things that they want to do as far as wanting all of us to eat bugs and get off of meat. But they don't have to eat bugs, but you have to eat bugs and all these different things. They want us to have digital IDs and be tracked and traced, and they keep warning of this blackout coming, and a great reset. Ever since COVID was a great opportunity to do that and to be, they said, Klaus Schwab, the James Bond type villain, says in 10 years we'll own nothing and be happy. He said this when COVID came out, and so he said it in his book, The Great Reset by Klaus Schwab. He is the head of the World Economic Forum, and so this year they would have somebody, not a pastor, of course not, because what they want is a one world order. So of course they don't want a pastor to come bless this event that will go against everything that they are, unless he's some type of flaky fake pastor. And so this was courtesy of the big picture right here. This is the witch doctor or shaman that they had. This was on Bishop Larry Ragland's show, who I know. Hashuhu Yawanawa. Okay, and you're gonna see her when they've opened up the day one of the meetings of the Davos. Many different world leaders come there. Hashahua Yawanawa is the first woman shaman of the Yawanawa. She is one of the first medicine women to emerge from the peoples of this region of the world. As shaman, she serves as spiritual leader to the people of the Yawanawa territory and supports young Yawanawa and other non-native students in learning the spiritual traditions of the Yawanawa. And if you want to, in this video, you can pause and read the rest of that. Okay, so she's about to give her blessing or incantation over the people here at the ceremony, and doing her shaman / witchcraft medicine stuff. So let's take a look at it.
No Cambaú, Anuri, no Camai, no Camwacá, na Anuri, no Yuyuá, na Warron, Chinã, Vupanque, Tu, Chinã, Chaval aqui, Chinã, Mukikirani, Tsai, Chavakirani, Tsai, Mukikirani. Awama, Wanana, Awama, Wanana, Namahu, Wai, Sharai.
Now just think of all the spirits that she's transferring over to those people. And what's really crazy is that, again, they want, because they are the children of the devil, this is who they want to invite to their, on the spiritual side, to come and give a blessing, not a pastor, because it's not in the league and aligned with what their agendas and their plans are for humanity. So of course, you better not have no pastor. No, that goes against everything they believe. Bring a shaman, bring a witch doctor, and have them put blessings over us, which is not blessings, but receiving these different spirits upon these people. These people are already in themselves evil. If you think about now this year they did something different because of the negativity that they received. They did have a certain freedom style presidents who Milei, who won, I think, Argentina, the presidency over there, who's like a Trump-esque style, for his country, freedom, and conservatism and stuff like that. He came over there and he smashed everybody on stage at DAVOS, and all of those who are behind this worldwide economic forum agenda, which is anti-God, anti-human, anti-life. And so he came and shut it down over there in his speech. And they also had a person who's, I think, a president of the Heritage Foundation. Amazing that they would have allowed them to come over there to do such a thing and even speak. But, you know, they had to open it up in a more non-biased way, I guess, because of the flack that they caught, just to say, hey, look, we're allowing other people to speak and share their views. But man, they shut it down, and we'll see what they're saying here in just a minute. But let's look at this real quick.
She blowing some kind of demons on him. This is crazy, y'all. But wait a minute. Look at this. I want to show you this right here. This is crazy. This is a little more details about what was happening and who was in the room. It says, representing the voice of nature and of the forest is how she was introduced. Chiefess Putani's ritual was an evocative spectacle. It comprised invocations, the symbolic rubbing of hands, and the blowing on the heads of participants. Among these participants were some of the most influential figures in global economics and business. These are just three or four of the people that she just blew on. The managing director of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, also the president of the World Bank, the CEO of the company IKEA, and billionaire Andre Hoffman. The shamanic ritual did not go unnoticed by critics. In response to the criticism, the host defended the inclusion of the shamanic rite, stating that it was an attempt to connect with the wisdom of ancestors to inform future actions. Chiefess Putani echoed this sentiment, emphasizing the importance of unity in the healing of the planet and spiritual well-being. The rite concluded with a powerful gesture. They all stood up. The clip didn't show it, but I watched the rest of the clip. They all stood up, joined, and raised hands in unity by all the participants with the shaman, symbolizing their collective commitment towards a sustainable future. And guess what? The audience of the global, the World Economic Forum in Davos gave a standing ovation and clapping. What in the world? One more article on it to give us a little bit more clarity. This is the shaman here. Okay? Let's zoom this in a little bit. Watch this. This is what we just watched. And it says, after a discussion on how to enable a net zero nature positive future, a woman introduced as Chief Putani from the Yawanawa tribe of the Amazon gave a brief address asking for help in, quote, healing the planet. She presented herself as representing the voice of nature, the voice of the forest. When we are all united in our hearts and thoughts, our Mother Earth will listen to us. She proceeded to engage in what appeared to be a pagan ritual, blessing, rubbing her hands together and reciting a prayer before blowing on the head of each of the panelists. The panelists and Chief Putani then joined hands to the applause of the audience, received a standing ovation. And here, watch this. Most notably, one of the ones that was in a standing ovation was former U.S. Vice President and climate alarmist Al Gore. Al Gore was clapping and giving a standing ovation. Are y'all hearing me? My question is, Klaus Schwab, can I come next year? Can I come to Davos next year? I'll pay my own way.
So again, to give you just a general idea of who the World Economic Forum is, this is Klaus Schwab, the German gentleman who has some history with the United Nations, which he was a part of at some time. Then he started his own group called DAVOS, and House Republicans introduced bill to withdraw funding from Globalist World Economic Forum, which these people call themselves the elites. They're non-elected leaders or NGOs, non-governmental organizations, which they feel like they know what's best for us because they have money and power and all this stuff, and they want to tell us how to eat, what to do, and how the world should be ran. And they're in league with Satan. They discuss different things too, such as everything you could think of in setting the world trend and agendas for next year and the years to come. So just like Bilderberg, but this right here also they want to discuss. Davos globalist demands worldwide coordinated system of carbon taxes at WEF summit. So in other words, you have everybody who's somebody and plays a part, whether it's from media to world leaders to people in charge of the IMF or you name it. And they're trying to get people to be taxed worldwide for carbon taxes, which is a fake scam to raise money over nothing at all. It's just so they can raise money over a lie. They want to propagate a lie. And the carbon, you guys are too much carbon you're breathing. They want to even tax you for what you breathe. So they also want to discuss digital ID and having everybody tracked and traced by digital IDs. I was wanting to show you that one too. I couldn't find the deal. I had it, but it must have disappeared. WEF, EU chief, European Union. I'm telling you, everybody's in on this. Here's the European Union chief, von der Leyen, demands censorship of industrial scale disinformation at Davos. In other words, anything that doesn't line up with their agenda, we want to say it's disinformation. Even if especially if it's the truth and it goes against our narrative, we're going to call it a lie, but not a lie. We're just going to say it's disinformation or misinformation, whichever word you choose. They want to own speech, they want to own language, and they want to have the right to ban you, censor you, and all the above. And this is why they want these social credit scores. Because if you don't speak their language and say the things they want you to say, then they'll just censor you and take you off the internet. Let's dive just a little bit deeper. Let me show you even the deeper the deeper what's inside the heart of this organization at Davos. This is the son of George Soros, Alex Soros, and this one is as evil as they come. We'll deal with him on another time. But Noah Yuval Harari, which is the next gentleman who was selected by Klaus Schwab, and listen to what he says. This guy is you'll see why they invited Shaman to come instead of a preacher.
World Economic Forum puppet Yuval Harari, who is a big transhumanist leader. He's looking forward to AI writing new scriptures, he says, and creating a new religion for when it declares itself to be a god. And he is extremely concerned as well about the possibility that Donald Trump may win this election.
Are you concerned that Trump might be elected again?
Sure. I think it's very likely. And if it happens, it is likely to be the kind of like the death blow to what remains of the global order. And he says it openly.
That's all you need to know. If this little goblin doesn't want Donald Trump to become the next president because he thinks that it's going to foil their plans, then you need Donald Trump to become the president. Here he is calling us little people who are going to refuse to plug a neural interface into our brain in order to merge with AI and become transhumanist. He's calling us useless.
So we may be facing in the 21st century a completely new kind of inequality, which we have never seen before in human history. On the one hand, the emergence of a new upgraded elite of superhumans enhanced by bioengineering and brain-computer interfaces and things like that. And on the other hand, a new, massive, useless class. A class that has no military or economic usefulness, and therefore also no political power.
Take the mark of the beast, he says, or you won't have any political power. You don't want to be the victim of inequality, or as the Bible says, you won't be able to buy or sell anything in the mainstream world economy. I'm sorry, but I would rather barter at my local farmer's market on Sunday afternoons for some bread, ham, some eggs, than plug a neural interface into my brain, which is exactly what they want people to do, and turn you into a slave, just like Neo was in The Matrix.
And that was courtesy of Mark Dice on YouTube, his video entitled Bad News for Nikki Haley, Great News for America. And again, see, these are the people who are connected with the World Economic Forum. Noah Yuval Harari. Obama was intrigued by a lot of his books. Globalists, leaders, people who have that one world order mindset, socialist, Marxist, communist mindset. These people are intrigued by that. This, as an old book by Aldous Huxley called Brave New World. And last but not least, they pulled a shocker on everybody, and they invited a gentleman from the Heritage Foundation to come and speak at the World Economic Forum, and you'll see behind them again, World Economic Forum emblem. And I guess they want to know the mind of their enemy, which is smart. But they're wondering why people are against globalism. Well, duh, nobody wants. I'll let him lay it out. Here's the president of the Heritage Foundation invited to speak at a globalist satanic convention.
People come here, stand up for his liberal democracy.
It's laughable that you would, or anyone would describe Davos as protecting liberal democracy.
I'll be candid here because I think I've been invited here to be candid. Elites tell us that open borders and even illegal immigration are okay. The average person tells us in the United States that both rob them of the American way of life. Elites also tell us that public safety isn't a problem in big American cities. Just travel to New York or Washington or Dallas, Texas. The average person will tell you that the lack of public safety damages not just the American way of life, but their life. Elites tell us that we have this existential crisis with so-called climate change. The solutions, the average person know, cost more human lives, especially in Europe during the time that you need heating, than do the problem and the problems themselves. The fourth, China. The number one adversary, not just to the United States, but to free people on planet Earth. Not only do we at Davos not say that, we give the Chinese Communist Party a platform. And fifth, as we sit here, another supranational organization, the World Health Organization, is discussing foisting gender ideology upon the global South. These are practices that are under review, if not being rejected, by countries in Northern Europe. The new president, especially if it's President Trump, will, as you like to say, trust the science. He will understand the basic biological reality of manhood and womanhood. And do you know why? Not because of retribution, not because he's a dictator, but because he has the power of the American people behind him. Let me just correct the slight assertion you made there. We want Ukraine to win. We want to see Ukraine win with a lot more help from European allies. I think the United States has a role. Heritage has been clear about this for 2 years now, that there is a world in which we support military aid for Ukraine. Our first obligation in foreign policy is to look at it through the lens of what's best for the American citizen. Joe Biden has done a god-awful job in articulating what that is. The kind of person who will come into the next conservative administration is going to be governed by one principle, and that is destroying the grasp that political elites and unelected technocrats have over the average person. And if I may, I will be candid and say that the agenda that every single member of the administration needs to have is to compile a list of everything that's ever been proposed at the World Economic Forum and object all of them wholesale.
And that's all I gotta say. I mean, he just nailed it right there. And then you can add a lot more to it, but they messed up by inviting him there because he just stuck it to him, and so did Milei, president of Argentina. And I'm glad they gave them a platform to let them know how they really feel and how they reject this elitist, globalist new world order mindset from these unelected bureaucrats and these leaders that think they can call the shots and tell others what to do. The World Health Organizations, United Nations, DAVOS, you name it. They think they can tell us how life should be ran and lived and what we can have and can't have, and enough's enough, and people are fed up. And this is why you're hearing this, the Heritage Foundation, as you heard the president there, because we're sick of this mess. And this is the heart of DAVOS / which is a meeting that they have, which is part of the World Economic Forum. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time. God bless you.